Welcome to Business News You Can Use. And today we are again interviewing a top icon and expert that I know you're going to enjoy hearing from. But first, let me ask you this. What does bungee jumping, whitewater rafting, and building a business have in common? Adventure. Yes, all three provide opportunities to overcome our perceived limitations. And I am excited to bring to you today our guest. His name is Jeff Wolf, and Jeff and I will be talking about his experience interviewing adventurous entrepreneurs as host and executive producer of the new Adventure CEO Leadership Insight. Welcome, Jeff, to the show. How are you doing today?
Doing great, Raven. Thank you so much for the opportunity to talk with you today.
Well, I got to ask you, what is the story behind Adventure CEO and what made you come up with that name?
Well, one of the things I've learned from talking with entrepreneurs, one of the big threads that really is a common experience for all of them is they talk about how much of an adventure, how much fear there is, how much concern they have about starting their business. And then as they're growing it, it's navigating the uncertainty. And it's such a great parallel to adventure. The first time I went whitewater rafting, the experience of after we'd spent the day on a river, we had a accident or a group nearly drowned. But after that, we're sitting on a mountaintop, having dinner under the stars, talking about what we were going to be doing, in life after that. And it just changed how we thought about everything. So that mix of hearing entrepreneurs talk about adventure and having experienced some adventures and how that can help reframe how people think about things. It's about breaking paradigms, by getting out of our boxes of perception. We put those two together for Adventure CEO.
Wow. Ooh, it sounds scary to me, I tell you. When you talk about whitewater rafting, is this you guys doing that there?
This was a different location. This was actually in Colorado.
Oh, okay. Beautiful.
We're out actually for a breakfast run. It was a half-day whitewater event. We basically did a breakfast run, and that was our morning at the office that day.
Now, I hope our viewers and listeners heard that. Your morning at the office. I got to tell you, how many people can say that their morning at the office is doing this? That's pretty exciting for sure. Now, let me ask you this. I know you're going to be interviewing entrepreneurs and CEOs. Why?
They have a great story that often doesn't get told. There's a lot of learning, a lot of experience that they have that they can share, that there's not as many opportunities for most entrepreneurs that work in the shadows, building their businesses. They're creating opportunities for other people. And to be able to get those stories out, what are the key insights that they've learned so they can share that with other people that are on the same path, maybe not the same point, but along the same path. And also it's an opportunity for peer-to-peer interaction. A lot of times it's possible to feel isolated in life. And that, I'm experiencing these challenges, that 3:00 in the morning conversation, it's like, oh, what have I done? Why am I doing this? And to find out, there's other people that feel that way, and here's how they're getting through that. So to be able to share, from the heart at that level too.
Yeah, and that commonality, I believe that it leads to a very interesting interview. Number one, because you speak their language, So as far as a listener and viewer, you get to hear so much more insight when you have two people that are talking and having a conversation through their interview that really are relating to each other. I'm just curious, what are a couple things you find are the biggest concerns with these CEOs that you interview?
That's a great question. It's about mindset, for one thing. Mm-hmm. Being able to have the mental toughness to continue getting through the challenges that they experience, being able to surround themselves with the right people are two of the biggies. And it's been amazing to listen to how different entrepreneurs talk about that. Like the successful restaurant owner that has 10 restaurants with 5 different themes that originally was a airplane stunt pilot. Mm-hmm. And how that mindset that he had from what he did as a stunt pilot ties into what he's doing in business and helps him overcome some of the fears, the uncertainty that they deal with in building their business and the ability to identify and attract the right people to be around them.
Yeah. And the biggest fear, what have you found that to be?
The biggest fear is to fail in a way that they're not going to be able to come back from it.
Mm-hmm.
There's just constant failure in the entrepreneurial world. It's one of the dirty little secrets.
Yeah.
A key to being a successful entrepreneur is being able to fail again and again and again and keep getting up.
Yeah, I call it failing forward. You know, you
Failing
just keep
forward.
pushing forward, and it's okay. You know, you're going to scrape your knees. You know, you're going to fall, just like when we were kids skating, right? You just get back up and continue to do it. For sure. I remember speaking with Jack Canfield, and he was sharing with me when him and Mark first presented the chicken soup books.
Mm-hmm.
And they were trying to get it out to the publicists, and everybody kept telling them why they couldn't do it, and they kept failing. Every time they went, they kept, you know, people kept saying no, 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 no. And he said they just kept pushing forward, you know, and it was a lot of times. I can't remember the number now, but it was a huge amount of times, and they just, you know, just marked that off and kept going, mark it off and kept going until they got to the yes. So do you find that's how the CEOs you talk to, they're just really steadfast in their journey and they don't mind going through the nose? In fact, they know they're going to go through the nose. They're just trying to hurry up and get to that yes. What do you find? What's your experience in that?
Oh, absolutely. That's exactly what happens. And a lot of times they don't necessarily go through it gracefully either. It's frustrating. It's hard.
No kidding, for sure. So where are you doing these interviews? Are you going to their office, or they're coming into your studio, or are you doing it while you're out? Let's show this picture again, because I absolutely love it. Are you doing it when you guys are out on your morning, what do you call Meetup Venture?
or adventure summits?
Yeah.
We're working on being able to live stream from the adventure summits. We do some, we'll record and do some of the interviews while we are out at adventure sites. When we're in people's businesses, we do some of them remotely over the internet in order to be able to catch up with, you know, sometimes it's just not possible to get together live. We do that when we can. We've done some live trade show events.
Mm-hmm.
And we prefer live. It's really about being able to have a good conversation that's engaging and pulls those golden nuggets out.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so again, if you're just joining us, we are talking to Jeff Wolf, and Jeff is the executive producer and host of Adventure CEO. It's a video broadcast that's here on our Roku and Amazon Fire and soon to be Apple TV show, but it's also going to be on Apple as well as iTunes and several iHeartRadio. You can pretty much hear about him everywhere. What's the one thing you want your viewers to walk away with when they listen to these interviews that you're doing, Jeff?
It's about mindset. If you've got something where you see a need and you can start a business, whether it's a for-profit or a not-for-profit business, to fill that need, the key is mindset. You can do it. And the people that we've interviewed show that over and over and over again. The exceptional characteristic that they have is that mindset of determination, going, yeah, I can do this. I'll find people that can do the stuff that I'm not good at to make it work, but I'll move forward with it. They're not to create the wrong picture of them. They're not idiots, but they're not Albert Einsteins either. They're not the smartest. And many of them will tell you, they go, look, I'm not the smartest person in this, but I surround myself with the smartest people I can find. That's what makes it work. So for listeners, it's like, you can do this and you're not alone in the journey.
I love that. You can do it and you're not alone in the journey, because that's exactly it. We're not alone in our journey. And so many of us think we are, and we're not. So I agree with that. Now, I know for me, with the thousands of interviews I've done, you know, there's always such huge insights that I get when I interview Les Brown and Jack Canfield, Lisa Sastridge, and Montel Williams, all the great people that I've interviewed. It's so much insight that they bring that I get, you know, from listening, going back to listen to the interview, but especially during the process, because it's raw and live and it's in your face. You're doing it, you know, right there. What do you find has been your biggest insight?
How much they really care about the communities that they serve. Really have a heart for what they're doing. And a lot of times in pulp culture, we see the like from The Simpsons, the Monty Burns. That's kind of the prototype CEO. It's oh, it's all about the money, and they're kind of creepy, marginal people. Yet in the entrepreneurial ranks, you have a lot of men and women that really have a heart for what they're doing. They want to serve, and to them, CEO really means continually expanding opportunities. Not so much chief executive officer. They're looking at how can they create opportunities for their teams, for their families, of course, but also for the community that they can serve.
Find their passion level is.
It's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
It's incredible. It's a passion level to the point that what they're doing is a lifestyle.
I like that.
And as you've experienced, it takes so much time, energy. It can be so consuming. You really need to approach it as a lifestyle.
Yeah, absolutely. And I, like you, I find that my guests, their passion level is like over a 10 plus.
Mm-hmm.
That this is not that they just come and do these interviews, one interview after another, but they bring it, and they care. They care about what they're giving out there. It's not that they want to just give content. They want to give context. They want to make sure that your listeners and viewers are getting what they come from. That's what I love about interviewing. You're a great interviewer. I can't wait to hear your show and to see your show. We're absolutely thrilled. It's part of the Raven TV network, and we're thrilled to be featuring you on our show today. Any final thoughts you want to pass on to our viewers? And please include any way that they can contact you or anything that I haven't asked you that you'd like to share at this time.
Well, one thing I'd like to add, if I could, is just how proud we are to be part of Raven TV International, or what you're doing, because you've achieved a lot, and now that you're moving into the TV space and expanding in other areas as well, it's just great to be part of that. And it's always fun to work with high performers that are changing people's lives.
Well, thank you for that. And you're definitely one. So how can people get in contact with you? Anything that you want to share as a final comment for our viewers and listeners, Jeff?
Well, remember that if you've got a dream, you can achieve it. And it's really about continually expanding opportunities. The entrepreneurial world is about expanding freedom for other people and helping them through building businesses that continually expand opportunities. I really can't come back to that enough, because that's what we do. That's what you do with your business as well. You're a great example of that. And if they'd like to recommend guests for the show or have any ideas, anything they want to communicate with us about, just contact us at next, NEXT, the word next, at adventureceo.tv.
Gotcha. Absolutely. And speaking of, what do you, as we close out, can you kind of share the 3 top things you look for as a guest?
We look for someone who already has their business up and running somewhat, not just right in the startup mode. Mm-hmm. And they're building their team. They're making some stuff happen in their marketplace that has a vision for what they're doing. So it's, again, about that vision and heart. Their business is up and running, and they are really focused on how they can help other people as well. It's very collaborative.
All right. Thank you so much. There you have it, everyone. Jeffrey Wolf. And, he has been sharing his experience through interviewing CEOs, adventure CEOs. And you can catch his show, Adventure CEO Leadership. Let's put it back up here for you. Take a snapshot of that. Check him out. Hey, who knows? You might be part of the morning office with him the next time. Love that picture. Thank you, Jeff. It's been a pleasure. Everyone, I'm Raven Blair Glover, Raven, the talk show Maven. You're tuned in to Raven TV Network. Catch us on Roku, Amazon Fire, and very soon Apple TV. And be sure to check this man out, because as you can see, he's interviewing CEOs and they're bringing a lot. You don't want to miss it. You can contact him and send him an email if you have an idea of a next guest or you think you might be one of those.
Next at adventureceo.tv.
All right. That's a wrap, y'all. We'll see you next time. But for now, bye-bye. And remember what Jeff says. You can reach your dreams. You just got to change that mindset. So tune in and they'll show you, him and his CEOs will show you how. Bye for now.
And we're having an adventure. How about you?
Absolutely.